Welcome back. This is part 2 of e-commerce with the Django in Python using PyCharm. This is Casteeve SDC channel. Last video we learned how to install and how to configure packages. Today we're going to continue and learn how to create apps and app front so that from now on everything will be smooth. Now I want you to look on your left side under the project. You will see the project main folder. It's called Altara, and that's what we're going to create here. So what you're going to do is type the Django, spell it nicely, and then add admin space start project. Start project must be in one word, and then give a project name. This is going to begin with your admin. So I recommend you use the same folder as your whole project. So I'm going to use Altara, and in this situation press space and dot, then enter. If you do it nicely, you will have a second line. It has already executed your project for you. So click here, and Altara, it's already down here. Now within Altara here, you will have already generated Python and the Django framework material for you. After this, our next thing we're going to do is to start app. This app is going to be the front end of your application, which is e-commerce. So type the Django start app space, let's say store. Whatever name you want to give to your store, you can say home or anything, but here is a store. That's what I want to create. So we have a store. I want you to notice that each one we have created now, there is a dot within that, and that dot, it's a package. If you can't remember what kind of folder you are using, pause your mouse on it and it will show you that package. If I go here and I pause my mouse on VENV, it's virtual environment, you will see it is normal folder directory. When I pause it on Altara or the store, it says packages, and that is what we have. So right now we are going to use our mouse to create other packages and other folders also. Now this, we are not using our coding section anymore, so please right click on your store, go to new, and under packages click on Python packages. We're going to start creating something. Here I want you to type in model, make it small letters, so models, and enter for us. When you do that, you already have this package here. So I want you to keep doing that until all that we're going to create here it's over. So the next thing we're going to do is right click on store and then go to package again and create middlewares, and here you enter again. We have our package. Again we're going to do another one. All is going to be under front side of the package or your e-commerce, which is the store. So here is going to be views. So now click on that and then press OK. So now we have all our packages done. We have our packages. Click on model, expand the model, right click on model. We're going to create files. Okay, so first we need to create files, Python files under model, and those Python files are going to be exact application back-end code for our e-commerce. So first we need category and enter. Our next we need customer we need customer and enter. This is a straightforward thing. If you have any other way of creating this, that will also be okay. But here, what we are doing, we need specific files, so it's okay to create it this way. Our next one will be orders, and our last but not the least under this is going to be our product. So enter. Now that we are finished with this one, we are going to start coding. Before we do any coding, I want you to go to Eltara, the second project folder, expand it, go to settings, because that's what we're going to do now. Go to settings and scroll down to installed apps. Here we're going to add application, which is a store, the one we created to that, so that we will be able to view this under our admin page. So here, set it to store, and in the end give a comma. You are done. We are doing this step by step. If you cannot follow this, please pause the video and do it again. Our next thing, let's start with our category. When you create a Python application, or when you create any website, you would want to deal with things like, as you have seen, category. But this is a specific thing, so we're going to deal with e-commerce, and that we need category to organize our products. But before we do this, let's try to see if our server is running or not. For us to run a server, I want you to type python manage.py run server. When you type this, enter. If there is no error, it will come up nicely. Now here, did you mean server? That means our spelling here is incorrect. So let's go back and make changes to that. Hopefully it will be fine. Perfect. Now this is our IP address. Let's go to our domain. If you have an IP address just as they have shown us, then it's going to work. Here is our installed framework from the Django and Python in PyCharm. When you see this, this means your admin and your server is running fine. Let's try and see the admin. Give it /admin. Here is our problem. This admin isn't working. So let's go back and do some migrations before we come back again. So here we're getting an error down here. This is what we have. So I'll go to the next page, and then let's do python manage.py make migration with the S. Okay, no changes as detected. Let's try and migrate it from now. Okay, so we're going to do migrate, and let's see. Perfect. Now all these migrations that you see here, the okay here that you have seen, this is generating our database in our database section. So let's go back, and hopefully things should be better. If you have seen the error before, do not be stressed. Go back and set your migration. Migrate the system and you will be ready to go as you have here. Now another thing that we don't have access to is our users. If you are successfully created this part, then we're going to create a user name for this. Under normal circumstance, admin is the user for our Django web apps, but there is no database for that, so we don't have. So we'll go back to create. We're going to create username. Now to create a username, we will need Python manage.py, and you create super user, all in one, no space, super user. If it is correct, it will ask you to enter your username, and now my username is going to be Casteeve, and then enter. It will ask you for a password and email address. With the email address, this is a local host, so you don't have to worry. You can create or you can make up any email address for this. So the email address is going to be SDCTech@casteeve.com. This perfect. Password, this is like Linux. If you have used Linux or Linux before, or Ubuntu, you will understand what I mean. This password is not visible when you are typing, so do not think that the password is not working or nothing is popping up so you don't know. Keep typing and it will ask you to repeat the same password. When they match, it will be successful. So I'm going to use 1 2 3 all the way to 9. You see there's nothing there, but I enter. I have to repeat the same thing. Enter. Now the password is very common. This is what Python and the Django system does. If you still prefer to use this common, say yes or press Y and you are ready to go. Successful. So let's go back and enter in our password and then our username. Perfect. If you are here 100%, you have set up your first Django platform. Now let's move on to another thing. Now that we are running our Django, our server is running, the next thing we have to do right now is to start working under model. So start from your categories. What we are going to do right now is to import our database from this database into the category page. This is how you do that. From and space Django.db import models. This models here is from this one. That means everything, our basis here, is going to be used for this. Once you are done, all of these pages we have created: category, customer, orders, and product. This is the format. Or once you're able to do the first one, you can always create by either copy and paste or anything. So let's move on. We're going to start class, and our category is going to be set to models and the model class. So when you are setting a category, we want our models to fetch information from the admin page or the database and show it to this one. And if it is the name that we are looking for, then we have to set the character, the maximum character for this. So our maximum length that we need for this one should be any number that you expect it to be. So here I'm setting this one to 60. That is our maximum character. If there is any other property you will want to associate with the category, this is where you will create them. So we have created a variable name for our category. Let's start with a static method, and we will define how that method works. So we're going to do, I'm going to get all category. So we will have to set all the categories for this. And then if the search is going to be searched in our category here, we will use the category name to find them all, and the return will have to come back to the admin page. We are doing all this one so that it will be much easier for us to find them. So this one you see here, this one is underscore. You use your shift and double underscore and you will be able to do that. So we are returning ourselves .name. So we have it now. Now from this section, if you have any error, it will pop up on your right side here. Now all these warnings we have here, it could be a warning telling you how you can format your Python file. For example, unresolved attribute reference to this. If we have any error here, we will know. But since this is the beginning of our coding, I don't want you to think too much. We are going to continue and we will come back with everything that we have. Next, we're going to use customer again. So we are doing Django.db imports models. Remember, this is under models, so we will always do that. And you are going to set your class. So we need class and customer models.model. We need that. And since we are dealing with customers, there are a few properties we will always have to think about, and that is first name is equals to models dot character field, and how many maximum characters do you want to give to your name. So here I'm going to just copy this, copy it and paste, and I'm going to change the first name to last name. And the character field is still the same, so no need to make any changes. And my next one, I want to collect phone. So again, phone is character field. How many maximum? If you wish, you can give them 60, but I don't think phone should be that much. Our next thing is going to be our email. Now the email is slightly different from the rest. So what we're going to do is the model, it's not going to be character field anymore. It's going to be email field, as you can see. And we don't need to set it here because this is not a character field. And our password is also going to be here. Password is a character, so we will leave the character field. Maybe the password is supposed to be long. If you are like me and you want to set your password long, then yes, you have to let your password stay as it is. Now, giving spaces as I am doing allows you to read your system very fast. Here we're going to create a code to save our data, save the data. So we're going to create a code to save our data. So this is what we have. That is good. Let's return our customer. Back. We will get the email. So our email is going to be email. That's it. Return. We see that if it is true, so we set it already. Let's go with accept. With accept, let's return false. We are still doing it, so if customer dot object dot filter, we want it to be equal to email, as it will fetch the email. It has to show. So, and then after that, let's make sure that it is true. Okay, perfect. This is our customer page and it's done. Remember, we are doing this page by page. So now we finish our category, our customer. Let's move on to our orders. So with the orders, the same thing that we did. If you think there are some things here that you would want, you can copy and paste. You can go back and find them. For example, here, if you need anything here, you can bring it back. But let's keep doing it. From our Django.db import models. Import models dot product import products. With the S, and from dot customer import customer, and then let's import our date time when we will be able to see date and time for our work. Let's set our class. So our class is the order, and as usual we bring our models dot model, and then we set our product here. Your product equal to, and that is where you set your foreign key. We're going to set our foreign key for this. So we set in our foreign keys. We finish with our foreign key, products and customers, and our orders. Quantity should be equals to the models dot integer. This is going to be number, so there is no need of thinking of the character. Now let's set this number from the beginning as 1, and our price, let's set our price also to our models, and that is also going to be an integer. Let's set this also integer. The next thing we are going to do is address. So maximum character, we're going to set it to, let's say, you can set it to the same number that we did, if you remember. Let's set it to 60, and then our default set is there. We can repeat the same thing with our phone. So dot character field, and again that will be true. If you want a character field, you can also, as I told you, you can set it to the same thing. No need to worry yourself about anything. And let's move on to date. Anything we add here, any reference we add here comes up here. So I want you to pay attention to that for help. So our models dot the date, this time we set it to the date, and our character should be, by default, should be equals to date time dot date time. That will depend on the system you're using. That will entirely depend on the system you are using, so don't worry. we are trying to set it to your current PC, which is any day that the user is accessing it. Let's pick up status. Okay, now model also sort of is there, so we go with Boolean. It could be true or false. We talked about this one. Boolean is a true or false function. Okay, Boolean is a true or false function. Before you log in, it has to be false. We don't have anything to deal with that at this point. Okay, now let's move on. We set our properties, our class already, and the next thing we're going to do is set define. We are defining our orders. So when you place order, they should also be seen in their admin. With this, any system we create or function we create, we have to give it a static. In this situation, it's not category, so we are going to search by orders by the customer. So we will use customers ID card. We will use customers ID. Once we're able to have that, we will return our orders. We are almost there. Let's set a customer underscore ID dot order by date. We'll come back to this, don't worry. We have unresolved references here. We'll come back to that. Now we finish our orders. This is our order. Let's go to our product. Within our products, the same function is what we're going to set. So I don't want us to waste time. I'm going to copy this. I'll come back to this and make changes because we need them. Our Django, we need our Django. Within the order, I'm going to set in our category here. So from dot category import category. We want them to know, and after that I'll take this off. We want them to know our order is going to be a product. Okay, so just curious, there you go. You see why I told you that? Do not worry about that. Now this is resolved. In programming, everything you do is connected, especially if you're doing a web development or any mobile apps. Every code is linked to a specific thing within a different page. So unless you are done, I don't want you to be stressed. So now that we have our products here, our model is set, and dot model, we have it here. So a product is also here. We need product name, and the name, instead of foreign character, we want it to be a character field, and that character field is going to set maximum character. So maximum length, again 60, and here is going to be the same with different name. So this is going to be price. So I'm going to copy this and bring them here. I'm trying to let you understand that there is possibility of you completing your work much faster than anything. Okay, so our field, our price field is here. we set our price field and the default is 0. Our category, let's set this to category because we already import category into the system, and that category is now going to be a foreign character. So here dot foreign key. With our foreign key, we're going to set category on delete. So set it on underscore delete. It's equals to models dot cascade. Okay, comma. We set a default, and the default is number 1. Product description, models dot character field, and with the character field we have to declare how many characters we are going to go for, and we will go for, let's add more. Let's null it as true. All this we're doing is going to set itself. After this, we will migrate this one and it will go to our database. So we are done with these. Now take it off. Remember I told you that we're not going to create upload folder? Yes, this coming line here is what we are going to use to create the upload and the product folder. So this is what I want us to do. Set your images where the image is going to go. We want it to be in models dot image field. We need image field. Good. Image field, let's set it to upload to. Now this upload to is where we're going to declare where we want it to be. So what you are looking at is telling us where we are going to upload our system. Now if you decide you don't need the upload, all your products, all the images you're going to upload will be inside here, loosed. Let's say you have, when you open this folder, you have all the images down here. Meanwhile, maybe you need a complete organized page. So here, every upload will go to my upload, and within the upload we have the products. So if you have any other application or any other folder to perform anything in, you can also have organized folder, arrange it nicely, and it will be okay. Now that we are done, let's move on to our static set. We have default get products. Remember, this is not order, so we're going to get product by ID instead of customer. We need this product by ID, and here set it to IDs so that it will pick up for us. So get products by ID and return the product as an object within our customer, the ID. So here ID double underscore in is going to be equal to our IDs. Now our ID is set. Take this one out. Congratulations. If you have not find any error or red line here at this point, you are ready to go. So we're going to create exactly the same thing down there without wasting your time. I have these things, and we're going to make sure that you have them. Please do not miss anything. If you think that it's going too fast and you cannot follow, I recommend you to make sure that you get it by pausing and going through again. So at this point in time, we have finished products, order, customer. We finished them. We finished customer, category, all under models. Now let's go to init. We need to make some changes under init models. In init models, we have to add all these products we created in order for the system to have its perfect function. So please go ahead, do what we are doing. Remember, when I press dot, we have everything in there because we already added to that. We added to this one already. And our last one is from the order. We will import order. That's it. That's all we need for this section here. So within our model, we have products, orders, customer, our category, and init. Perfect. So we will end our work here. The next thing, we're going to learn how to create a link between each and every page we have created. And so stay tuned. Watch out for part 3. Congratulations for joining us this time. If this is your first time this channel, we want you to subscribe if you want and press our notification button. It's going to help us so that we can always try as much as possible to help you. Thank you. See you in our next video.